All right, guys. So I won't be available by 5, so that's why I want to just run through this once and for all. Okay, so like I say almost all the time, that one of the things you would know in this market is that a lot of opportunities present itself. So there are times where the market is so clear, super clear. And that's why one of the things I say over and over again is that the idea of storyline might keep you away from actually enjoying what the market actually presents. Because, for example, I wish you can look at storyline. Maybe tomorrow or Saturday when we do a weekly review, maybe we'll check that out again. So, this was Thursday, Wednesday. So this is Monday, right? Yeah. So Monday came reacted from this engulfing. That was a decent rejection. And one of the things, or one of the very important things to notice, the reason why I would be anticipating this buy from here is because we already know this is a pivotal area for price. Price takes the high and takes the low. So this is true break of structure. And it means that if you are going to take any buy from here, our first target is going to be this buy. So that's clear. That means from the onset, when you are taking any buy from here, right, you already know, oh, this is where your first target is going to be because you're not lost on what is going on the lower time frame. All right. So again, remember, how do you refine your levels? You need to refine your level. How do you refine your level? So one, you're not going to pick this one, right? Because obviously this is your last look before the minute. So this is liquidity and also this nothing is popping out of consumption. And like I said from last week, you would focus on sometimes you'd see imbalances like this within your zone. Those areas are important areas for trading. The price comes all the way and past this level, you're not scared. You already know that's going to happen. So if you're in this buy, and even if your stop is here and your target is here, you're still going to be in the same profit. You're risking 1%. Okay. So take away your eyes from what is in the lower time frame. See, the lower time frame is so interesting. When I mean lower time frame, I mean M1 particularly. M5, M1. There's no difference between M5 and M1. They have the same structure. They present almost the same way. Okay. So if you're going to be trading on M5 and M1, whatever you are doing on that time frame, to maximize it the most, you want to ensure you're coming from the H4 and the H1 from a higher time frame perspective. So you don't get lost because on M5 and M1, everything looks like a trade. Everything looks like a setup. Oh, M5 EG, M5 EG, and no, whatever reason that makes you go to M5 and M1 should come from an higher time frame perspective. So like you can see, even if you were not in this cell all the way down, right? This buy would have been yours easily. And if this buy is yours easily, you're in this buy, and this is just off daily and H4. We've not even gone lower. And if you're going to go lower, it's still going to be the same thing. So we're going to be refining the exact same level, looking for, oh, what went wrong? Why is this happening? Why did that happen? So in this scenario, price taps and then takes the high, takes the low. You're waiting, you're already in a buy from here, which I was, and then suddenly price break this level. Okay, so you have a true break of structure, right? And one of the very important things you consider. So let's assume price is still within this level. We don't know if this reaction is going to happen. So let's see on the H4, what do you do, right? So on the H4, this is a break. This is your true break of structure. Obviously, you have this level, interesting level. Now, the moment you have this level, that means you have a defining level. So again, you want to check the daily. Oh, does this align with anything on daily? Nothing. If it does not align with anything on the other time frame, that is the only time you can go ahead with what you have on the time frame lower. Right. So on H4, we have true break of structure here. We have this daily break. So what do we have on H1? On H1, very interesting price action. Okay. On each one, there was an initial buy from here in the morning, and then you can see this an hidden engulfing with an engulfing also. And if you want to play around, like I like to say, for me, trend line is just something I like to play around. If you want to play around, you can just check trend line, and you would only enjoy trend line if you trade in this manner I've mentioned. Stick to item frame, stick to item frame. You will really enjoy it. So here you have gap level, you have hidden engulfing, you have all of that level coinciding with an H4 level. So price taps, rejected. So this is also a decent area to look for a buy. Okay. And then the next thing, probably wait for a breakout before you start to look for a entry. So price gives a breakout, takes the high at this point, takes the low, and there was a lot of gyration around this level. Okay. I don't want to go lower because again, that would mean we are well, we can go lower, maybe during the weekend. Okay, so the high taking, the low taking. Again, like always, hidden engulfing, right? then engulfing that looks like a gap level, all of that. So price comes, taps into that level. Like I said, if you want to play around again, trend lines, okay, type one, right? If you want to play around, you should like to play around. So you want to see this as more of something fun than something. Okay, so another thing, price comes, breaks the eye, poof, and then starts to sell. Now, I'm very sure a lot of people after this sudden drop would have, oh, now you start selling, you start selling, but you're missing a point. Price has taken the eye, taking the loss. So this is your true break of structure. So on H1, you have reasons to buy here. So let's assume we have reasons to buy on H1. You have this hidden engulfing right here. So I'm checking H4. Okay, what else is on H4? So on H4, oh, this price is just coming back, and that's just more of a classic scenario just at this tip, but we can't see much of it actually. So what's on daily? Nothing on daily. So you can make that decision. Oh, am I going to take this trade? Am I not going to take this trade? The reaction stops. This is even a direct entry kind of trade. So you enter, poof, and then see the reaction, and then you're still just chilling. After that, price gave a decent engulfing. So you mark the engulfing, right? The next day, which is today, I think, yeah, today, price opens. First thing price comes to do, the engulfing. First break, second break. In fact, if there's anything like third break, which is the reason why I had a buy. I called the buy on the page. I had my level drawn like this, right? Called the buy here just from here. This is where we took our buy from the morning. And if you're on the lower time frame, you would have been misled by a lot of things happening within this area. It's just simple. This was an initial reaction to the upside. Price came back, classic to classic, and then the buys continued to the upside. Okay. But if I go to M1 now, or let's say M5, like many people trade M5. Okay, so let's go to M5. You're going to see that a lot of things are going to look at it like a trade. So M5, let's see. So let's say this level. So again, M5 reaction, probably people trying to sell from here. They got smoked pretty hard. That would have been very, very sad. Okay. The same thing at this area. After this sudden drop at this point, the price dropped. Oh, we're engulfing. So they start selling here. The price is building a narrative towards the upside. Okay. So you want to stay. See, again, I'll just say this from my experience. M1 is the easiest time frame you can trade, but you would make it the most difficult. M1, M5, you make it the most difficult time frame when you're not taking trades that align with what your intraday time frames are saying. Okay. So if you want to pick a trade, you're asking yourself the question, the logic, oh, why am I taking this trade? For example, this current sell, yeah. So let's see H4 level. So I'm asking myself a question, why should, for example, if we took buys, where is the next possible place price will come to? Judging by the idea of structure, this is an inefficiency. Price just came to fill up efficiency. So this is efficient pricing. That's just on H4. So for me, normally I check multiple time frames, check the daily. Sometimes I check 12 hours, check 8 hours. Because I have the time. I don't have to rush on 8 hours or in 12 hours. You can see there's a broken gap. So I'm just checking, having fun. On the 8 hour, nothing much except you want to consider this level. Okay, so nothing much. And at the same time, if price is selling, you're asking yourself, oh, where would the continuation for buys happen? And then you're checking the time. This is 6 hours to the close of this candle. So there can be possible continuation, maybe from here or after inducing this low. So you just think like that, and then you mark up those levels. So those are what will form the narrative of, oh, should I sell you? And then at the end of the day, you drop to M1. So M1, asking yourself the question, is there price behavior? Is there price delivery? And then you're able to capitalize on any of those things. So in this scenario, price takes the eye low, yeah, takes the eye and then drops. So you have two break of structure. So that's price behavior, price drops, and then you get price delivery in the making, right? It comes to this level, induce this eye, keeping the sharp gap. The eye, induce the low, came back. So this will be your decent entry at this point. Your first target would lovely be this low. If price eventually gets tapped because this looks like a strong area. So that gives you a narrative of your M1, M5 time frame, whichever one it is, would make a lot of the sense if you can follow through on the important intraday time frames. All right, guys. This is very short. I hope everybody is able to get in and watch. All right. Do have a wonderful day.